Hello and welcome. You're listening to episode 83 of the Nearly Men Video Games podcast, coming to you live on Twitch from Scotland on Thursday the 18th of March 2021. I am Paul Kaczynski, and joining me today is none other than Blunderboy 87.
Oh,
there he is. And along with Colin Little, we are the Nearly Men. We've got nothing to do with the video games industry. We don't make them, we don't sell them, we're not even particularly good at them. We are the Nearly Men, and at some point, you've probably kicked our asses online. Mr. Blunderboy, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I was actually forgot we were live, and I was admiring the video was at the start, and then I was making funny faces at the video, and then I was like, oh no, people might see me. I totally get flustered.
Well, as I sent you during the week, I was reminded of the wonderful time that you were caught reading something that you were furious about, and we cut to you.
Yeah.
We cut to you with the face of doom,
Raging.
We are but two again, Blunderboy.
We are.
We are but two.
Become one.
Love it. Our good friend Colin Little is elsewhere tonight. We'll let him off. Tonight. We'll no batter into him, because I feel that Colin gets a brunt of a lot of our stick. Do you know what I mean?
Fair, he does. Colin is a bit of the whipping boy from us and the community, and people don't even really know the Nearly Men. They just kind of come in and like make fun of him.
Do you know what I mean? It's just got that kind of face. Mm-hmm. It's funny as well, because if you were looking at us, if you put us up against the wall, Colin would be the kind of jock. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, we've had this chat before. I think we've kind of spoke about if you were to go back to high school, and put you into like a grouping, Mean Girls style. Now, where would people fit? And I definitely think Colin would be like, just by aesthetics, you go like, there's a jock.
Yeah. He looks like the one that would beat us up. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, you can see him in like the jacket with the letter in the bracelets and stuff like that. I clearly be like the musical theatre kid. Pushing about and like
you'd still get beat up, but you'd stand your ground, you'd accept it, and you would fight for it, but you'd still get beat
me up, but I like it, like just to put them off, sort of thing.
And I'd be the wee fat kid that they steal the Watsits off. Oh, Watsits!
What a whopping whoosh! You'd be like up in the computer lab, like, and everybody thinks you hack stuff, and you'd be like, I don't know why I got glasses in this scenario.
That was good glass movement there for the audio viewers. That was good glass movement for Gary Hogga. I'd be doing everybody's work, wouldn't I? That's what it would be. I'd be handing in essays for other people. Oh man!
Oh, you would, and you wouldn't even get charged for it because people would put you in the trash cans if you were like, I need
wedges,
the money.
The whole works. I'm glad that's not real life. I'm glad we can move on from that. Yes, of course, we are the Nearly Men. We're three guys. It's myself, Paul Kaczynski, Blunderboy87, and Colin_NM. We stream on our own channels on Twitch. Please do give us a wee follow. And of course, follow here as well on this channel. Every second Thursday, you get a podcast. And alternating for that Thursday, you get some multiplayer games. And then there's events peppered throughout the month. This month's event is a FIFA tournament, which is happening on the 27th of March. I nearly said February. There you go. 27th of March. It's going to start at midday, and there's 9 participants have checked in.
Ooh.
It's getting exciting. The draw of who's going to play as what team is going to happen after this podcast. I know that means nothing to people listening later on, but for people that are watching live, 9:30 on this channel tonight, people will find out what team they're playing as. It's going to be great fun. Please come along and shout abuse. There'll be channel point predictions and bits of fun and things like that as well. It won't just be all football. It'll be good chat as well. I need to pick up Wee Maverick in the chat because she's quoted me by saying audio viewers. Audio viewers is a nod to Greg Miller, who does the Kind of Funny podcast, and he refers to his audio viewers. And I always like that. Yes, indeed. So please get in touch. We love to hear what you're playing. We love to hear anything at all. What kind of gaming news is exciting you? What games you've been playing? Here's how you can get in touch.
Reaching the Nearly Men is easier than ever. Search for the Nearly Men Video Games podcast on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or your preferred podcast player. We stream on Twitch. Follow Colin at Colin_NM. Follow Paul at Paul Kaczynski, all one word. Follow Gary at Blunderboy87, and let's get social on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram where we are at Nearly Men, or go old school and email us on info@thenearlymen.com. Need all that again? Links are on our website, thenearlymen.com, so what are you waiting for?
Drop us a line, let us know. We love hearing from you, even if it's just to tell us what you're up to. You know, I went to the shop and I bought, a Galaxy.
I mean, we are living in very dull times, but
do you know what I mean?
Anything that's out the norm, just let us know. Like
anything. I'm going to jump in, and Tommy B's comment in the chat on Twitch here, who says that Blunderboy's powerful jawline makes him the jock for me. Blunderboy, I'll tell you, has got one of the best profiles in the world. Shows your profile, Blunderboy. Come on, look at that. See that profile? That profile could play the Joker. I love it. Blunderboy for Joker.
Guys. Yes.
I remember seeing Blunderboy in a play. Oh, this is a tangent. I always forget what it's called. Blunderboy, the one you had all the white face paint.
Yeah.
And it was all white face paint, and it was done very much like oh gosh, what is that Joker one with Harley Quinn? Is it The Killing Joke? I don't think it is. No, it's the one. He's very white and he's in the tuxedo. And he's
it's like Harley Joker's like first issue and stuff. Yeah,
could be, and you reminded me of that, and that's the one that stayed with me. Terrifying. So I mean, I wouldn't be beating you up. I'd be running away from you. There's been some news, Blunderboy.
There has, as I said.
Can you believe?
The games industry is waking up from hibernation. It feels like. I feel like the end of last year was a bit of a like. And the new gen is here, and then it went, and now we're really tired, and we're just going to go to sleep for a little while. And I mean, I don't know if that's ever really happened before. Like,
well, do you know, it's a weird thing, isn't it? Because there's such a kind of crossover of generations. We said this all in the run up to the next gen coming out and all that it was such a small increment. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a big leap. It was a kind of everything's just a bit shinier, a bit faster, a bit easier. But there's nothing really wow. The biggest wow thing was the controller, as we've spoken about before.
That's what the tech seems to be the biggest jump these days.
Yeah, but it wasn't jumping from like HD. It wasn't even jumping from HD to 4K or anything like that, because it's already been done. So it was a bit of a kind of, I wouldn't certainly wouldn't say a soft launch, but it's not as big a deal as it once was, I don't think. And the console wars, it's not a thing now really with Xbox and PlayStation. It's
so many cross-platform games, and I think there's so many cross-generational games now, like PS4, PS5. I look, they share the almost identical library, same with the Xbox series of consoles. Whereas back in the day, your PS1 to PS2, your PS1 couldn't play PS2 games. It wasn't like, here's the PS1 version of the game and here's the PS2 version. It was just like, there's these PS2 games, and the same with PSD, which obviously had some backwards compatibility, but it was definite generations of games. Whereas this time it's like, and everything can kind of be played everywhere.
Yeah, it's definitely looser, isn't it? But one thing that is coming, Blunderboy, is another PSVR. They said, what was it, about a month ago, that it's coming, but it's not coming soon. You know what I mean? But today they have revealed some details, and they've revealed the controllers. Now, this is from Dalton Cooper over at Game Rant. I'm going to read his article here. It says, instead of using the PlayStation Move motion controllers like the original PlayStation VR, the next-gen VR for PS5 will feature brand new controllers. These orb-shaped controllers are more in line with things like the Oculus Touch and should provide for more immersive VR experiences than what is currently possible with PlayStation Move. They also have a number of unique features inspired by existing VR technology, as well as the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller. As confirmed by Sony, each of the VR controllers has adaptive triggers and haptic feedback, which should both go a long way in increasing immersion as well. The controllers have finger touch detection, so they can tell how the player's hands are positioned and reflect those motions in game. Controller tracking is now done through a tracking ring that's on the bottom of the controller instead of the PlayStation camera, and bulbous lights on the PlayStation Move. Now, for my sins, I hadn't read that last sentence. So I was kind of, before off air, I was saying, they're awfully big. Oh, they're very similar to the Oculus Rift
Yeah.
ones, but they're awfully big. And now I can see that's a tracker.
And that cusp thing they've got, or the cuff thing they've got, like the tracker. I mean, I think they look. As soon as this picture was sent into our chat earlier, I was like, to my class of pupils, I was like, "Oh my gosh, look at the PlayStation 5 VR controllers!" I was that excited by them. I was like, "They're so cool!"
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they're nice. I think I'm slightly spoiled. I was expecting something a bit more high tech, to be honest. I mean, they look great, and I'm sure they'll be brilliant. The haptic feedback and all that is brilliant. I was I don't know if I'm just too early, but I was hoping for something like gloves or nothing. Do you know what I mean? Because of the is it the Oculus Quest? I think can pick up your hands in certain games.
Oh, wow, really?
Even though you've got nothing on them. So I was hoping for something more like that. That's a bit more dexterous. Now it's saying it's got finger. What was it referring to as
like
finger touch detection?
Yeah.
So they know where the hands are. But I mean, I don't know how. You know,
I wonder if it's like a bridge in the gap. I think to go from the wands, which are not very immersive at all, when you're sitting going, where's my triangle, where's my square, where's my X?
Aye.
I think to go for that to gloves, I think that would put a casual gamer off, even a casual gamer with VR. I think they'd be like, oh. Whereas I think with this, they still go, oh, I still hold the control pad. I'm still
gaming.
Something. Yeah.
Aye.
I think also if it was just the hands, what are my feet doing?
Oh, okay. So
Like,
you need the big step.
So I think this is like a stepping stone almost towards that. That's in my mind. That's it. But yeah, because they've released it, haven't they? The boogie board for the VR.
That's right. Because you nearly bought it.
I did. I almost bought it. I was
bought it.
Ooh, I was that was lockdown money. But then I think I looked and couldn't find them anywhere, so I might go back on Amazon and see if they exist. So I think like that will be I think the gloves might come eventually, and the suit. Imagine a haptic suit.
Oh man,
so good.
Ready Player One's getting closer and closer, man.
I know. But no, it's cool. The fact that we're getting those is interesting. I'm gonna have to get that adapter though for a PS5. I went on the website and it wouldn't work.
Oh man!
And it was like, please contact customer support. I was like, you are the customer support.
Oh man. Mine's came very easily. Mine's was smooth.
I remember you and Colin doing it really quick, and I think I held off because I was like, well, I'm not getting a PS5 anytime soon. A wee huff, so I kind of left it. So I don't know. Maybe somebody's used my code. How rude.
That's a point. That's a point. Just before, well, I'll ask you now. You've had your PS5 for a wee while now. How are you finding it? A wee while. You've had it about a week or something, but you know what I mean. You've settled into it a wee bit more. How are you finding it?
I'm liking it. I love the homepage, the UI. I like the use on it. I think it's really sleek. I do wish I could have folders for my games like I did in the PS4. The fact they only keep like 7, 6.
Yeah.
And the store takes up a slot, so then I wish I could. And you've got to go to your library, which doesn't take that much effort. But I would like my Resident Evil folder or like stuff. I think I said this. Was it last Thursday or was it 2 Thursdays ago? I feel like it downloads games much quicker than a PS4 does, and I don't know if that's a psychological thing, but I swear I start downloading the game, that bar zooms up. I'm like, oh.
Do you know? I would agree with you in the games, but do you know? Last night I thought it was downloading updates really slow. I mean, that could just be the size of the update, I suppose, but it was downloading a FIFA update. Now FIFA gets updated quite a lot, so it's not huge, and I just thought, gosh, that feels like it's taking a long time, but maybe it's because I was sitting watching it. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe, because usually I'll go to download the game and it will start, and then I'll go to rest mode and just let it do it overnight. What else? They're like, I'm like Colin. I know just to push my PlayStation button to turn it off. Like I don't quite struggle by holding it in. I've adapted that really quick. I'm like, boop. I like the suspended game feature. I never knew that was a thing. When you can just, when you turn your PlayStation back on, if you're playing a game, it's there. If you don't pause the game, I was like, oh, I like that as well. The control pad, I've not really got anything
to show
to,
off.
to
Yeah.
show off the haptics. Because I'm mainly playing older games or like last gen games. So even like Phoenix, what's that called? Infinite Phoenix Rising. It doesn't have any haptics in it, even though it was kind of coming out just at that cusp. But no, I'm enjoying it. It's so quiet.
Isn't it? It's so quiet. I'm going to talk about a game later on that I'm curious to know if it will make a noise. But yeah, you're right. It's so quiet.
Yeah.
I've yet to hear it make. I know I game mostly with headphones now, but even when I don't, I've yet to hear it make a sound, man.
Even with my headphones, my PS4, I was like, "You're right, hun. You could go up." So it'd be good to see how it works with like the VR and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you see online the guy who decided to go for a run in Skyrim in his VR thing, and he's got the rig that you clip into and you run on the board?
Oh, aye. No, I didn't see that.
And someone was like, "You didn't realize how much running is in Skyrim, did you?" I think he ran like 7K by the time he'd finished.
Wow, fantastic!
And I was like, maybe I need one of those.
See, that's me. You know, the boogie board thing that you're talking about. I'm not interested in that, but if I'm going to get that, I want the whole works. I want to be doing it. I don't want to be pretending. It does kind of look
like how those things you get for your babies, you put in the doorway and they kind of dangle and they bounce. It kind of looks like he's slightly held up by that, so it looks like he's like a bunch of bananas when you hang them on those 1980s banana holders. He's a bit like that, and then his wee feet start going, and he's got his wee hands, and he's kind of spinning on the spot, and you're like, this does not look like it's going to end well. But it also looks like a lot of fun. I was like,
Aye, that whole thing, this thing you can turn around and all that, and yes, I'm up for that. But I know these are interesting. As you say, they're definitely better than your motion controllers. Your motion stick, what they called, move sticks, don't they? Move
wands, magic wands.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word there. So PSVR controllers revealed. They're still adamant that we're not getting it this year at all, and maybe not even next year. So could be a while away, but that's the first signal of intent that we've seen. Other than them saying, there'll be another one. That's the first thing we've seen that it'll look like.
Yeah.
I'm slightly disappointed by the fact they said it's going to have one wire. I would have lost money saying it was going to be wireless. So they've said it's going to have one wire, because remember the PSVR's got like 50 wires coming out of it, and you're all tied up.
Aye.
Apparently, it's just one wire you plug into your PS5, and that's it. Or a PS, or a processor unit or whatever it's going to be. But I would have lost money because I would have said that 100% they would have went wireless. Now that the Oculus is wireless, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought you meant the hand things, the pads. A wire, and I was like, what?
Welcome 1990s.
Imagine like wrapping yourself up, trying to fight something next minute. You're like, I'm stuck. Help! Someone free me from my VR nightmare.
I mean, to be fair, the Rift, if you want to play, big, full quality games, you still need to plug it in. So maybe it just doesn't have the power on its own. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
So that's your PSVR controllers. Another thing, Blunderboy, that happened was the Square Enix Presents dropped literally just before we met up.
Yeah,
it was just very late this evening. I kind of had a wee flick through it. The visual listeners are getting a wee taste of the kind of sizzle reel that was at the end of it. I'm just going to run through some of the things that jumped out at me. I'm not going to say everything. But there was one game, actually. In fact, I've put down something for everything apart from one game, and I can't remember what it's called. It's a whole collection of mobile games like Bubble Bobble and things like that a company are doing.
My gosh.
But I think there was one game that I've made a note of because I just went, it doesn't interest me at all. Because that's what you do when you host a podcast. You just pick what you want.
Yeah.
Never
General
mind anybody else.
Public, no, they don't need to know about that.
So the show started with a fantastic cinematic, that's it there, of Outriders. So Outriders has had a demo out and it comes out at the start of April. And it's a kind of co-op shooter Destiny type thing. It looks great fun. It's shooty bang bang, but magical powers as well. So you can slow time and different things like that, or you can, slice things into oblivion. But it started with a big cinematic and then went into a bit more detail of the game. And it's I might give it a go. It looks a wee bit kind of very similar to Destiny. With a bit more kind of it's kind of more monsters than aliens, if you know what I mean.
Right.
But it looks fun. Do you know it at all, Gary?
I've heard people talk about it, and my pals are like, "Are you going to download demo?" Like, I totally am, don't feel well I won't. I've not been the biggest fan of Destiny. But I did have fun that last time we played it, and I genuinely like Square Enix games, so I'm kind of like eyebrow raise. I might give the demo a download and have a shot.
Yeah. So that's what it started with. Then it went on to a Tomb Raider kind of collection, and it's the 25th, am I right? No, it can't be the 25th anniversary. 30th anniversary?
Yeah, no, it's the
25th anniversary of Tomb Raider, and I did a kind of whole host of things, different things. Brian in the chat saying, is that a new Tomb Raider game? It's not a new Tomb Raider game, unfortunately. What they are doing is they're putting the recent trilogy, the modern trilogy, into a pack, and you're getting what they're calling the definitive Survivor edition of these games, which I think have been free everywhere from memory. So everybody's just about got them somewhere. There's also they're promising lots of different things over the year. Still things to come. But the first thing they announced was, Gary, and I know you'll be right onto this.
I can get this and giggling.
They announced a Tomb Raider cookbook.
What?
I mean, when I think of Tomb Raider, first thing I go, boom.
Yeah.
It's a cookbook. I want a Tomb Raider cookbook.
I've always wanted to play the part of Winston, her butler.
Exactly. Exactly. You can keep the new game. I don't want a new game. I just want to know how to make. I mean, I don't even know what's in it. What would you make?
Can you imagine that marketing strategy though? Right, everyone, it's the 25th anniversary of Tomb Raider. What are we going to do? A new game, a new movie, a new TV show. I know what Lara Croft Tomb Raider has always needed. A cookbook. Oh my goodness, yes, get that printed. I can we have our World of Warcraft cookbook.
I was just about to bring that up. I can understand that though.
But it's named after dishes in the game, so
exactly.
And you make a hero's feast, and it's got whatever in it. And I made some of the fruit from it. It was very tasty. But like Lara Croft, I'm like a med pack. You want me to eat plasters?
Kind of rat over a campfire. Is that it?
I'm trying to think like rattlesnake stew. Joy, I'm just like,
it's got no connection to food at all for me.
No, like you never have to make food. You never have to do anything like that. So I'm just like, I can't comprehend where we're coming from, Square Enix.
Maybe it's like the Jolly Rogers cookbook. Do you remember that from the Black Web? It was a thing that told you how to make bombs and things like that. Maybe it's like that. Maybe it teaches you how to make weapons out of twigs.
How to make medkit. Catch a snake, excrete the toxin, and then you have an anti-venom.
They were talking about as well, they're going to do I think it's an animation series with Netflix. Was it Netflix?
Yeah.
So they're doing that as well, and the next film is of course moving on as well with the same lassie who I can't remember her name. Alice.
Oh, Alice. Yeah.
I've not seen the film at all. So
it was alright.
Yeah, so that was Tomb Raider. Then they moved on to a wee kind of mobile section. A lot of their big games are getting mobile versions. There's going to be a Just Cause mobile, which was a very big kerpow bang slow motion trailer. And there's also going to be Hitman Sniper Assassins, which looks like it might be a kind of multiplayer mobile game for Hitman. And a wee augmented reality version of Space Raiders.
Oh,
which looks quite interesting, I suppose, for anyone that's got that augmented reality business. Then they moved on. They spoke about the Avengers. Now this is the game that I want to know. So the Avengers, the PS5 version dropped today, and the Xbox Series X, the next gen version dropped today. It's a free update for anyone who has the game. It's got Hawkeye, Clint Barton. Is it Clint?
Yeah,
that's me digging deep there in my Marvel memory. And I think it's got extra missions and things like that as well. So I want to know, because the PS4, the Avengers, my PS4 took off. It literally took off and disappeared out the room. It was that noisy. And then I just for fun's sake, I put it on the PS5 and started it up, and there was not a sound coming from the PS5. And I thought, oh, that's good. So then I wondered, when the next gen version drops, is it going to push the PS5 as much as it pushed the PS4? So I'm intrigued to know if it does that. Are you going to get back into it, Blunderboy?
I might. So, like, the fact that Clint's out, the updates arrived, so it'll be interesting to see. So I might get it download on the PS5. I did see someone on Twitter say download the PS4 version, then download your save data, and then upgrade to the PS5 version.
Oh, okay.
And that's the way they do it. And then there's no Black Panther War for Wakanda. That could be interesting. Although they did come under fire for saying the way that they're going to make their game have longevity is to make it harder to level up.
Yes. They want you to grind.
And I think it's because people were playing the new content, and as soon as they finished it, leaving the game again. And I'm like, well, give us longer content.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the as you say, the Black Panther's expansion is coming out later this year. The War for Wakanda. I mean, maybe I presume that's going to be a paid expansion.
Yeah, it sounds big as well. It sounds like new maps and stuff.
New characters, whole shebang. I'm intrigued because I really enjoyed it. I've not finished it, so I'm keen to go back into it.
I really enjoyed the main story.
I deliberately held off once I knew it was getting a next gen update. I deliberately stopped playing it. Yeah, so I've not finished the main story, and there's loads of things to do with a pal as well, isn't there? It's kind of team up and do some superhero fun. So Black Panther War for Wakanda is coming out end of this year, I think it's said. They also announced Life is Strange True Colors, which is a new Life is Strange game, completely new. It's not episodic, a whole new cast. It looks quite nice. They showed quite a lot of it, to be honest. Well, they showed more of that than anything else, I think. Yeah, it looks good. Looks like the same thing. The trailer was like a Dawson's Creek episode, right on tone. Even the even the kind of behind the scenes of the developer talking about the game was like a One Tree Hill episode. It was bizarre. Honestly, if you get a chance, watch if you watch anything, watch the developer talking about it, because his voice is mesmerizing. It's a really bizarre voice. It's a bit like Brendan Fraser. Do you remember the first time you saw Brendan Fraser and he spoke and you went, "Whoa, your voice isn't your face"?
Yeah,
similar thing. Similar thing.
A Rick Astley moment.
Rick Astley, yeah. So it's not episodic. It's out on September 10th. You're getting that. They also announced a remastered collection of the existing Life is Strange games, which you can get as part of an Ultimate Edition of True Colors, or it's going to come out on its own in the autumn. The fall. And then the final thing they showed up with was Project Atheia, which was announced as part of the PlayStation announcement, was it? I can't remember. It was either the PlayStation or the Xbox One. Then I think it was PlayStation. They announced it, and it was just this working title, Project Atheia. You don't know what it is yet, but it's coming and it's going to be good. So they revealed the lead actress in it, whose name I can't remember for my sins. And it's now got a name. It's got a new name. It's going to be called Forspoken, and it's definitely kind of dragony, magicy, actiony. That was about it.
Great descriptive words there, Paul. Great descriptive words.
They showed a wee tiny cinematic. I mean, it looks beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It looks stunning. As you were saying, Blunderboy, it's akin to the Unreal demo that was kicking about. It's got that kind of quality to it of, there's a shot of her hiding behind a wall, and it's a kind of full body shot, but you can see her trainers, and on her trainers you can see like the detail of the rubber and things like that. So it's really minuscule detail. But I mean, it looks fun. They didn't show you very much of it at all. But it's now called Forspoken, and it's due 2022. Nice. Gosh, that took me longer than I expected there. Do you want some crumbs?
Always.
Yeah, you do. So, Sony are catching up with Microsoft and giving you some free games. Well, they're not free. These are free. Xbox Ones aren't. Sony, it's part of their play at home thing that they did a while back as well. Sony are now giving you Horizon Zero Dawn. Did I say that right? Horizon Zero Dawn. That's coming on April the 19th. They're going to give you that free. And I believe it's the full whack. It's the whole complete edition, which is great. So you're going to have from the April the 19th till May the 14th to pick that up. But before that, they're also going to drop Abzu. They're going to give you Enter the Gungeon, Res Infinite, Subnautica, and The Witness. PSVR users will also get Astrobot, Rescue Mission, Moss, Thumper, and Paper Beast. So it's a tasty wee drop for free, you know what I mean? And of course, you can still grab Ratchet and Clank until the 31st of March if you didn't pick it up in PS Plus way back when. And they're saying this is going to go until June, so you can expect another drop of games after Horizon Zero Dawn. So that's good. Nice. So I've nearly bought Horizon Zero Dawn about 50 times in the past 6 months, so that's good for that. EA Play comes on to PC today. It arrives. It's a bit behind the Xbox edition, but it's arriving today. And with it comes Star Wars Squadrons everywhere, which is lovely. If you've not played that, play that. It's good fun. Do you want to know which Game Pass editions are coming, Blunderboy?
Yeah.
So EA Play comes today along with Squadrons. Empire of Sin for PC and console. Nier Automata. I can never get that first time. That game name drives me insane. I think I want to say...
How do you say it? I say Automata.
Automata. Oh, well, yeah, that's probably what it is. I want to say Nier Auto... Oh no, I've got... I've got it stuck in my head now. Automata. No, that's what it is. I've lost it now.
Automata.
Always want to say it wrong.
Automata. Automata.
I want to put another syllable in there.
You just want to call it Tomata.
Tomata. That's one of your favourite games, isn't it?
I do. I actually. I just bought it again for the PS5.
You just bought it again.
So I had the physical edition in PS4, then I bought the digital edition in Steam, and then I was like, do you know what? I bought it for my PlayStation, so I bought the digital edition in PS5.
Should be ashamed of yourself.
It wasn't sale.
Should be ashamed of yourself.
And if you shift enough units, they'll make another one after the remake comes out next month. So
you're a disgrace. Yeah, you can play that on your PS5 with your boogie board.
Problem, it's called money.
Also out today on Game Pass is Torchlight 3 for PC. Coming on the 25th, you've got Genesis Noir for PC console, Octopath Traveler for PC console, Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire Ultimate Edition for PC, Supraland for PC, Yakuza 6. No, it's Yakuza 6. That should be the Song of Life, PC, console, and cloud. And on the 30th, you're getting Narita Boy for PC, console, and cloud. And then on April the 1st, April Fool, you're getting Outriders. You're getting Outriders if you're on the console. So that's for Game Pass Unlimited users. Console and cloud, you're getting that. So that's quite good. I mean, that's a reason to play it, you know. Leaving Game Pass, you're getting Hyperdot, or Journey to Savage Planet, and Machinarium. Why did I do this?
You're so good with these game names, Paul.
I mean, they're all leaving on the 1st as well. Oh, do you want some freebies?
Questionably free. Go for
it. We can actually talk about this without being interrupted. The subbies. I think that's what we settled on, wasn't it?
Hey, we should just start calling it this week. They're just going to argue back.
Aye. Here's the subbies, guys. So, on the 1st of March, this is your Games with Gold. You're getting 1st of March to 31st of... I'll start that again. Till the 1st of March, you're getting Warface Breakout. You're also getting Port Royale 3. And then to the 15th of April, you're getting Vicious Attack Llama Apocalypse.
Oh, did not expect that name to go there.
You heard it right, baby. On PlayStation Plus, you're still getting Final Fantasy VII Remake, Remnant from the Ashes, Maquette for PS5, that is, and Farpoint for PSVR, PS4, and you're still able to pick up Destruction All-Star as well.
Nice.
I've done far too much talking, Blunderboy. Tell us what games you've been playing.
Me personally?
Go for it.
So, I have been continuing with the Resident Evil recap. which saw me last week revisit Resident Evil HD, and then last night do Resident Evil 2 a remake. And they're just the Resident Evil 1 remake is a 20-year-old HD port of a GameCube game, and it looks gorgeous. It's
Yeah.
nuts. It's nuts how good it looks. And it has pre-rendered backgrounds and stuff, but it's just even the small things like when they're running down dusty corridors and the dust particles, the lighting particles, and I mean, again, I don't know if it's just a mind thing or playing it PS5. It looks even better, right? And obviously, there's been no fancy special update to it for the PS5, but I don't know. It just it's such a pretty game. I did have a rocket launcher, so I got to run through the mansion.
I saw that. Yeah, it's just cutting your way through it.
And then last night in Resident Evil 2 again, the rocket launcher was just like, oh look, a scary monster, boom, bye.
I saw you fighting one of the kind of bossy guys with the big eye on his shoulder.
Oh yeah,
just this looks scary, and then just boom, 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 over the edge of the railing.
I will say, like, one of the best things about unlocking infinite weapons is when you go back, you're just like, this is for all the times you killed me. Just go to town where you're at your rocket launcher. On Sunday, I finished Shadow Hearts on the PS2 Gothic horror game. I must say, the viewers did very well with me. I wait to fight the last boss, and the last boss can cause status effects, and one character was missing an item you need to block all status effects. So we tried for like 45 minutes to kill this boss, and he just killed me. So I had to go do a side mission, get an item, then go back and fight the boss. So we did that. We killed God. It's actually God you fight, and they're like, "Hi, God." So you kill God, and then we briefly started the sequel. We did the first week introduction bit to whet everyone's palate, and we're going to continue that this Sunday coming.
Nice.
New games though, I did actually play games I've never played before. So I jumped into Immortals Phoenix Rising. So this game highly recommended from Diet Punk. I kind of looked at it when it was announced, because it's from people who made Assassin's Creed, and it's when I was playing Odyssey. So I love ancient Greece, and Diet Punk was
this one?
Yeah, so Diet Punk was like, oh, they're making this game. The studio's making this game that is set in ancient Greece. And I had a look, and I went, okay, it looks dead cartoony, it looks rubbish, I'm not getting it. And then I kind of made fun of some of the gameplay elements as well. So then Diet Punk got it for his Christmas, I think, and he was like, it's actually amazing. And he kind of described it like Breath of the Wild visually meets Assassin's Creed. So I picked it up in a sale, the Christmas sale, but I was like, I don't want to play it till I get PS5. I don't know why I made that choice, but I did. So I finally started it, and it's actually amazing. I played it for 9 hours without a break.
Whoa!
I streamed it like last Friday before, and I've decided I'm going to play it off stream because you would love it / hate it because it's side quest galore.
Oh no!
It's just side quests everywhere, and it's amazing, and I love it. But the writing in it is very clever. All the voice actors are either Greek or doing very convincing Greek accents, and the detail to Greek myths and legends and bring them into this game and make them work together. It's really good. It reminds me of the Darksiders games, which are a bit Legend of Zelda-ish, but like with dark subject matter. It's like Darksiders meets Zelda meets Assassin's Creed. Controls really well. The combat's really responsive and really dynamic and rewarding feeling. I did beat really strong bad guys though, and had to run away and lick my wounds. But I never felt like cheated out there. Like it was kind of like, all right, I get that. I'd strayed somewhere I shouldn't have. I did manage to get a reward item as well, but run away for the bad guys. But it's great. It's a really nice little game. It's very tongue in cheek and kind of pokes fun at itself and the Greek myths and legends. It has a very diverse cast and it talks about modern day topics, which in a sensitive but fun manner. It's very aware. It's very good. It's
nice.
Definitely worth a look.
I thought the game they were making was going to be very like Assassin's Creed.
Well, that's I thought it was going to have that realistic view. So that's when I saw this game. I went, that doesn't look like my kind of game, and it was lies. I'm totally sucked in. When you get armor, if you like the buff, you can wear the armor, but you can equip the look of an armor you do like, so you don't need to be wearing like mismatched armor.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of it's got that. So I think it's got some of the best bits of Assassin's Creed, and it's managed to lose some of the worst bits of Assassin's Creed.
Okay, that's good.
Um,
Interesting.
I don't know if I would have paid full price for it still, but if it's in a sale, it's definitely worth like the 35-40 quid price mark. Just because it does feel a wee bit not babyish, but I don't know. I don't think it's like a 55 quid game, unless you really like that style of gameplay. But it's
Yeah.
definitely it's enjoyable, and it's kid friendly as well.
Okay.
Like the stories they're like the scary factors scary enough without being terrifying, and obviously we know ancient Greek myths have some risky content. The way they deal with that is very funny because Zeus and Prometheus are the narrators, and when anything kind of adult comes up, it turns to him whispering in Zeus's ear, and Zeus is going, "Hey, you can't say that," and it's like very tongue in cheek. So as an adult, you go, but a younger audience are just like la 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 la. So
Okay.
it's really well done, but highly recommend it.
Nice.
Listeners and worth it. And then I went to back. Well, I say I went back. I never really went far, but I went to Bloodborne.
Oh.
So for those who know me, I'm not a Souls guy. I don't like the Souls games. I find them stressful. I get really hard on myself. I get really frustrated and angry, and don't have any patience. That's me running into a boss fight and freaking out and screaming. Yeah, I was just distraught. However, playing it in stream was a totally different experience. I think, see, because I'm able to chat to people and have a laugh at myself, but also discuss the game. I found it really. This is probably not a word to use, but really chill. Like I was actually kind of like, and then because people in the stream know the game so well, I was like, can you just tell me where? Give me a wee hint. They were helping out, and it was actually like a fun community effort to make me not die. And set myself little goals. So my goal by the end of the stream last week was to just upgrade all my armor, and I managed that. So I had better armor going forward, and I'd unlocked a shortcut, and I was like, that to me is now a victory. So I think it's a mind frame thing with the Bloodborne. The Souls games for me, it's not you have to get far. It's you have to get little challenges completed. But it was fun. It's a gorgeous looking game.
Yeah, I've often thought about streaming this. Funny enough, I'd prefer to go to the Dark Souls games, but everybody points me to this and say, "No, play Bloodborne. It'll be better for you."
Mm-hmm.
And I think I years ago started it. Maybe when it came on PS Plus.
Yeah,
because it was a PS Plus game at one point, wasn't it? I think I gave it a quick bash, and I thought, do you know what? My head's not in the frame of mind for this. But since started streaming, I started to think, is that a game that I could do? And it's as you say, it's a beautiful game. I remember Colin and I went to a video games exhibition in Dundee, and the whole section about this game and how it's crafted and how it's crafted to be so difficult but doable and different things like that. It was fascinating to look into, and of course the art style and the music and all that as well.
The gothic horror environment is what I like more than for somebody who loves D&D. I find the world of Bloodborne more interesting than the kind of Dungeons and Dragons world of Dark Souls. And it was actually watching MJ play Sekiro, which made me want to go back to Bloodborne, not Sekiro. But I think watching people play these games on Twitch gives you a better understanding of the mentality you need playing it. So that's why I think it's a bit more chill and a bit more forgiving on myself and not being frustrated. The fact I kept dying to like a Doug.
A Doug. Oh, good. Very good. Very good. Of course, we were playing together as well. We played Grounded. We jumped into that. What did you make of Grounded?
Amazing. Like, I'd had my eye on it for a while, and as I said when we played it, I did that thing where I downloaded it and never actually touched it and uninstalled it again. Because everyone had a shot and then stopped playing it, and I was like, okay. So when Colin suggested playing that, I was like, oh yeah, let's try that, but try not to like sound too keen. I was like, that'd be good. And was hooked. Like by the end, I was like loving my life, building a little mansion furniture, kitchenette, and stuff like that.
But we did have a kitchenette, didn't we?
I love the concept that Honey I Shrunk the Kids survival strategy. I think the mechanics work really well. It felt really well put together. There's a story there which isn't force fed to you. You've got to kind of work things out, and it's get that again that kind of horror which isn't grotesque. That horror which maybe as a childhood horror, like the giant spider aspect and the giant bugs and stuff. It's that horror rather than something's hiding under my bed. And it's gonna kill me.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised by it. As we said on the night, I wasn't keen on playing it at all because from last time I was just a bit like it was just a bit boring. There was nothing to do. I felt like I was at work. I don't feel I'm at work often when I stream, but playing that, I felt like I was just doing things to fill time.
Yeah.
And that did not feel like that at all this time. And aside from a slight glitch at the start, the crossplay was bang on. There was no issue at all.
It worked really well.
Really smooth, wasn't it? And as you said, it was just great fun. It was just great fun.
I think that was the key. It felt fun, and when you were discovering new things to build, it was like, oh, let's go find the stuff to do this. Like that basketball hoop we finally built, which I don't think you can even use, but I was just like, we've got a basketball hoop. I didn't even play basketball.
I was very proud of my roof. It took me ages.
Gorgeous.
And again, it's that kind of Sims Minecrafty type itch where you want to get things just right and just have them the way you want it, and then of course when you finish it you want to knock it all down and start again.
It's like afterwards we already did that streamer and they showed their house and we were like, what? It was like a mansion.
We had a kitchenette.
We were like, look at our 2-story leaf house with a kitchenette. It's the best thing ever. And then the streamer's like, oh, no, my house is not finished yet. And I was like, rude. Just rubbing our face how good your house is. I was like, goodbye.
Yeah. That was good. It was good fun. I think we might go back to that again.
I could see myself playing it as well, just like off stream. Like just having a kick about, explore. Like I imagine it being a very different experience single player as well. Like I think it might even be a wee bit more scary because you're just there yourself and
nobody's watching your back. In
the garden, no one can hear you scream.
Excellent.
What about you? What have you been playing?
Well, do you know, I've been playing loads of Sea of Thieves, absolute loads of Sea of Thieves. And on my Monday night stream, I started a new kind of story one, and it was Dishonored. So of course I forgot to mention earlier that in Game Pass loads of the Bethesda games came on to Game Pass. So when they came on I thought, what could I play? I could do Fallout, I could do this, could do Skyrim, could I start Skyrim and do that again? But I very briefly dipped into Dishonored 2 and didn't get it. I just wasn't on it. And everybody I know speaks about these games very highly, and I was like, what am I missing? It was a bit like Fallout, when the first Fallout game that I remember playing is Fallout 4, and when I picked it up, I was just a bit like, this isn't for me. This isn't good for me. And everybody raves about the Fallout games, and I was playing it. I was going, this just seems like an old game. It seems like a kind of clunky game. It just wasn't for me. So maybe Dishonored 2 felt a wee bit like that for me, but then just when I was thinking about what to play, I thought, well, maybe it's because I'm not involved in the story, and I'm not.
Because Dishonored 2 continues the story directly, so you're probably just like, meh.
Yeah, I didn't care, and everything was weird, and I didn't, speaking about things I didn't get, I didn't know about, as if I should know about them. So I picked it up, and it was great fun. I have very, very shortly into it. And there's not a lot done because you know what kind of speed I go at. But no, it was interesting, and I love the style of it. The style's great. How it's not really high quality textures. It's almost like kind of sheeny, not cartoony, but soft and its own style. I quite like that. I've just got the kind of magical powers, so I'm getting used to that, and I love the freedom of it as well. It's good. It's good, and this obviously the story's very good, and is obviously going to develop very well. So yeah, that was good. One other thing that I was playing as well, just before we move on, was FIFA. I for the first time ever, I played in the weekend league in FIFA. So
I don't know what that is. You got to tell me.
You play a mode called Rivals, and you accumulate points, and you've got to get 2,000 points to then qualify. That's like your entry fee into the Weekend League. Then the Weekend League, you get to play 30 games, and depending how many you win, you get ranked into a reward, basically. So the more games you win, the better your reward, essentially.
The games in a weekend.
I couldn't manage 30 games. I did play 21 though when I looked at it. I absolutely hammered it on Sunday night, and I get 6 wins.
Oh, nice.
So I thought I was going to be destroyed, and my first game it was like 10-4 or something like that. 10-2 actually, it was 10-2. And I thought, oh god, this is just going to be impossible. I'm so glad I didn't stream it, because I thought about streaming it, and I thought this would just be a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, all my games were really, there was a couple of ones where I was getting beat like 6-1 and things like that, but I felt like I was still clinging on a wee bit, and I would say more often than not, it was more of a kind of, you get beat 4-2, and it's because it was 2 each for a long time, and you took a chance and it backfired, all that kind of stuff. But it was great. It was really good fun. Definitely going to qualify again and maybe stream one day. But it was great fun. Oh, it's nerve-wracking though.
It sounds...
it's good players. The problem is good teams as well. There's people with a lot of good teams that you can't compete with. That was the thing. A lot of the games, when I play on stream, a lot of time I say it's not the team, it's the player. A lot of playing that, I felt there was a couple of times where I thought I can't compete with this team. They're just too fast. They're too good.
Yeah.
But it was great fun. The listeners have been in touch though, Gary.
Yay!
They have been playing. Jamesy42, he says, Red Dead Online, which has felt a bit of a grind with the trader role, and still working his way through Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I don't think it'll ever end, he says. So I think that's what FIFA Lazy said as well. Oh, and some FIFA 21 to ensure I keep the wooden spoon for the next Nearly Men event. Yeah. He also picked up an Xbox Series S. We cheeky Charlie, kept that quiet. Tommy B's also been in touch. He's been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves with some pals mainly. A wee bit of Fable 3 on Game Pass. That was a great game. And dabbled on a couple of ones that you guys have been playing. Jurassic World and No Man's Sky for the most part. He downloaded Resi 7 but haven't quite worked up to playing it yet.
You'll get there. Get there.
A wise choice. Please do get in touch. We love hearing what you're playing for. We love hearing what you've been playing. Here's how you can do it.
We'd love to hear from you. Find us on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram, where we are @NearlyMen, or email info@thenearlymen.com.
Yes, indeed. Some new releases. Blunderboy coming out today. You're getting Cartel Tycoon for PC. Marvel's Avengers gets its next-gen upgrade for PS5 and Xbox X. Minute of Islands for PC, PS4, Xbox and Switch. Plants vs. Zombies. Battle for Neighborville comes out on the Switch. Then tomorrow comes out... Returnal comes out tomorrow? I didn't know that. That snuck out. Is that right?
Politics, you make things up again.
Double check that one, Blunderboy. That could be wrong. Overcooked All You Can Eat is coming out on the 23rd for PC, PS4 and Xbox and the Switch. Also on the 23rd, you're getting Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town on the Switch on the 23rd. You've got a kind of smiley face there, Blunderboy.
Saying Returnal comes out on the 30th of April 2021.
30th of April there, so ignore Returnal. Black Legend comes out on the 25th for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox, Switch. Also on the 25th is Evil Inside for the PS4 and PS5. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater comes out for the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S for 26th of March. Also on the 26th, you're getting Terminator Resistance Enhanced for the PS5. It Takes Two is also there on the 26th as well. That's for PC, PS4 and Xbox One. Balan Wonderworld comes out on the 26th for PC, Switch. Monster Hunt Rise, Switch on the 26th. Doom 3 VR Edition comes out on the PS4 and PS5. That's the 29th of March, you're getting that. On the 30th, you're getting Shelter 3 for PC, I Saw Black Clouds for PC, PS4, Xbox and Switch, Narita Boy for PC, PS4, Xbox and Switch. Evil Genius 2 World Domination is also out on the 30th, that's for PC. And then you're getting a Kingdom Hearts bundle pack excitement, all
Just
coming out
all
on the
the Kingdom
30th.
Hearts games.
Is that all those? So you get 1.5, 2.5 remix, 2.8 final chapter, prologue, and melody of memory. They're coming out in the PC. So that's that.
Goodness.
There we go.
Goodness.
Thanks, Bri. Bri's just saying, well done, Paolo, with all these names being awkward to say. The releases are always a nightmare because you normally, like, if you take one of them, like if you take, I'm trying to look at one, Balan Wonderworld. If you're reading that on its own, it's fine. But see, when you're coming off something else, it's weird. It's like going into two languages. It's weird. There we are then, Blunderboy. Anything else exciting happening?
I don't think so. I mean, it's quite the next 2 weeks is kind of quiet for anything interesting coming out. Like a lot of stuff there's just like either HD upgrades or re-releases of old games. So I mean, I think about like almost half of those are just upgrades or releases of old games.
Yeah, that's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. Colin Little, we've missed you tonight, pal. We hope you're well.
We have.
Blunderboy, what are you going to be playing the moment you can get your hands on a controller again?
Like, as soon as the stream finishes?
Is that when you're playing? So that's some of us got to work after this stream.
Well, actually, I'm going to watch Drag Race UK Ferrari, and then, so actually, the Dead by Daylight team have turned on the new matchmaking for 24 hours, so I might go on and see what a hot mess that is.
Uh-oh.
What about you? Were you going to be playing?
I'm tempted to rank up a wee bit of FIFA, but I also want to try out the Avengers.
Oh, actually, yeah, we can pour and download that.
Bam, 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 bam.
But not that tune, because it's the movie verse.
Damn it.
I think the game wants something like
aye, okay, I get you.
Then with a random bum.
Blunderboy, have you anything left to say to the beautiful people of the world?
Nah, just make sure you charge your joypads.
We will see you in episode 84, which is on the 1st of April. We're not joking. See you later, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.